You attract everything by who you are because the energy that you have inside of yourself, your mindset, your thoughts, your emotional state, your beliefs, all of them shapes how you see, how you interact, and how you respond to the world around you. Your energy introduces you before you speak. Have you ever asked yourself why you didn't connect deeply with some people, even if you know them for years, while with others you talk for hours like you known them for your whole life? It is not all the time that shared history or interest. Most of the time, it is because of our energy. That energy that we're gonna carry within ourselves, that frequency that we have inside of ourselves. It speaks about ourselves more than we can think about it. People pick up on your vibe, your confidence, your kindness, your insecurities, your fears, or whatever. When you show up as someone who is joyful, who is self-respected, who is grounded, then you're gonna attract people with the same energy, with the same level of frequency of energy that you have, you're gonna attract them. But when you show up as someone who is guarded, bitter, or fearful, then you're gonna attract people, experiences, and also relationships that they have the same level of energy, friction, disconnection, or people triggering those same wounds. Energy never lies. That energy that you have inside of yourself, it never lies to you. It never lied to anyone. That energy that everyone has inside of themselves, you're gonna feel it in a matter of seconds. When two people are completely on different frequencies, the conversation feels forced, shallow, or disconnected. They didn't know what they should say next. There's going to be pauses or a lot of awkward silence that you didn't know how you're gonna cover it up. But when you're aligned, when the energy that you have also is matching the energy of the other person, at that time, the conversation flow naturally. At that time, you're gonna open faster. At that time, you didn't even though gonna care about what you're gonna say. You will just going to speak without hesitation, without being afraid of what should I say next. At that time, you laugh more. At that time, you feel seen, heard, and also you feel safe. It is not all the time about how long you know someone. It is about the energy. It is that energy that you're gonna carry with yourself. If that energy gonna match to another person, at that time you're gonna realize how the conversation flow naturally, how you're gonna stay unique, the way that you're gonna be without changing yourself. You know, a while ago I watched a video and that video completely shocked me. We attract people based on our wounds, based on our traumas. People who mirror unhealed part of ourselves. Not because we are meant to suffer together, but because the relationship is trying to bring something on the surface. And that is what is forcing us to face it, feel familiar, faded, or even intense. But that is usually because they are tied to a pattern we have unconsciously repeated. We attract people with social anxiety or trauma due to the unconscious emotional patterns that we didn't know about ourselves. Shared energetic frequencies, or the relationship rules we have learned to take on, particularly if we are highly empathetic or still carrying unsolved emotional wounds ourselves. If we grew up around emotional unpredictability or neglected, we might also seek those same dynamic in adulthood. Not out of desire, but out of familiarity, because we are familiar to it, because we feel safe. When we won't gonna have it, we feel that there is something wrong with us. You don't like unfamiliar things. That is why you all the time gonna hold to the same familiar things because you don't like to feel uncomfortable. You like to be safe in the same place that you were. That is why all the time you want to be in the same place. That is why you desire to find the same wounds. That is why you desire to find the same people to match that energy, because familiarity is something that you cannot get out of it. Due to this, we're gonna search comfort. We're gonna search people who match the same energy. We're gonna search the same trauma. We're gonna search the same wounds. We're gonna search the same dramatic events just because we feel safe there and we cannot be without it. Psychologically, we're drawn to what's familiar, not necessarily what is healthy. If you grow up among people that they are anxious, they're emotionally unavailable, they're withdrawn, our nervous system gonna unconsciously seek the same things because that is familiar to us. That is what we have been taught. That is what we have been learned. Sometimes your energy evolves. You grow, you heal, you shift. You won't gonna be the same person that you were before, and suddenly you recognize old friendship feel distance. Not because there is no trauma, but because your vibration is no longer a match. Your energy is not matching to the other person's energy. That is why you're gonna feel distance. Imagine yourself. Today you're sad. You feel down and you're gonna enter to a room that is full of your friends and they're laughing. They're enjoying the moment, but at that time the energy that you have won't gonna match to their energy. You cannot laugh. Even though if you're gonna put a fake smile on your face, from inside you have sadness, you have another energy, and your energy won't gonna match to their energy. At that time, the more they're gonna talk, the more they're gonna laugh, you feel more alone, you feel more distance. Here it's like you're trying to hold the sunlight when you're covered with the clouds. You know, you see what you expect to see. Your brain is wired to confirm your beliefs. If you tell yourself that you're unworthy, unlucky, your brain find unconsciously evidence to prove it. And it's gonna ignore signs to contradict it. You will notice more rejections than compliments. You dwell on setbacks rather than progress. You will walk right past all of the opportunities because you're not wired to see them. But here's the empowering part, the opposite is also true. If you begin to believe that you're lovable, you are capable of doing anything, you believe on yourself that you can do and trust everything that has come to you, your mind unconsciously gonna seek evidence to prove it. And at that time, all of the opportunities that they are passing by, you're gonna recognize them. You're gonna start noticing ideas, connections, and also chances that you might otherwise missed. You know, the world didn't change. You filtered it. Imagine this, if I ask you how many yellow cars you saw today, your answer might be none. But if I were told you for every yellow car you see, you will be rewarded, you will suddenly notice them everywhere. Not because they magically gonna appear, but it is all because you shift your focus. This is the same with life. What you focus on expands. When you expect to find, you will start seeing. When you tune your mind to, it becomes your reality. Energy flows where your attention goes. Now the real question is, what are you tuning into? Scarcity or abundance? Fear or possibility? Limitation or growth? You can't control everything that happens in life, but you can control what you look for, what you focus on, and what you believe is possible. Think of it like tuning a radio. You only hear the station you tuned into because you didn't see life as it is. You see life as you are. You didn't attract what you want. You attract who you are. You attract everything by who you are because the world often reflects the story you believe about yourself. How you speak with yourself, what you tolerate, what you prioritize, all of them shows the world that who you are. And if all the time you show the universe that you don't have respect for yourself, you're unworthy of success, you're unlucky or whatever, at that time you're gonna sabotage yourself. You know that you didn't fall to the level of your goals, but you fall to the level of your identity. If you see yourself as someone who is disciplined, compassionate, or powerful, your actions started to reflect that, and the world responds accordingly. When you track everything by who you are, then love yourself more, have more self-respect. If you want other people to respect you, then you have to first have self-respect, because the world is watching you, and you're telling yourself that other people need to think that you're worthy, but you are inside feeling that worthiness, not at all. At that time, you're gonna attract people at the same way, at the same vibration, at the same energy level that you have inside of yourself. Most of the time, we are not that person that the universe gives us what we have been asked for. It is all in you. You cannot be another person and tell the universe to give you the things that you want. In order to get different results, you have to change yourself. You need to be a different person to attract also the right things. You cannot be a different person and still want to attract good things and still want to attract people who give you value, who respect you, and you are not respecting yourself. If you respect yourself, you're gonna show to the world that you're respecting yourself, and the world also need to bring you people on your life that they respect you, that they give you value, because you are valuing yourself. Your world is a mirror for other people, how they behave with you, how they treat you. And this is the most crucial thing. In order to attract people and also relationships into your life the way that you want, first of all, you need to change yourself the way that you think that they need to be in order to attract that people and also that relationships. You cannot stay the same and still want to attract different type of people, different type of relationships. Everything starts with you. You have to change yourself first in order to attract the right things, the right goals, the right dreams, and everything that you want wholeheartedly.